Hello and welcome to Property Investments UK. In today's video we're going to be looking at a client question which is from a client that wants us to hire a property sourcer, and they're just asking what the next sort of stages are involved in that process. So we'll look at covering that in today's video for you. Now there's a couple of steps involved in the process of working directly with a sourcing company or a property investment company that's going to physically source you property deals to save your time and effort in trying to shortlist and curate and view those potential opportunities. That typically starts off with some form of consultation. So where the company or the individual, if you're working with an individual, can try and understand specifically as an investor what your requirements are. So if you have a particular geographic location, if you have a particular idea on price ranges or yields that you want to achieve on that property, and hopefully it just gives them and yourself some context as to whether they're going to be a fit for you based on the experience and the contacts and the local industry expertise that they have to be able to find those sort of deals for you. Once you've gone through that consultation process, the next stage is physically finding some of those potential opportunities. Now, some companies might have a bespoke service where they physically go out and find property deals based around your exact criteria. So they will go out and shortlist potential opportunities with estate agents or auctions based around that initial consultation you've had. There are other companies that have access to ready-to-go property deals. So these are properties that are ready on day one. So you can have a look at it and say, okay, well, number one High Street, for example, has this particular tenant profile, this particular rental yield. You can buy it at this particular price, and it's this condition. So it's much easier to understand if that potential property deal is going to be a fit for you at that point in time. So when you're choosing a sourcing agent, it's important to understand and distinguish between what type of service they tend to offer, whether it's a bespoke service and they'll go out and find deals for you, or whether it's something that's more akin to like a ready-made type deal. Now, once they've provided the opportunities for you and you've made a selection and choice to potentially go ahead with one of those properties, the next stage of working with a sourcing agent is going to be the sales process. And that's where that sourcing agent should be able to assist you during that sales process as well. So they can act as an intermediary effectively between both yourself as a buyer and also the seller of the potential property or development. They can also act as an intermediary in speaking to both sets of solicitors, so making sure that documents are sent over in time, making sure that any questions aren't left unanswered, and that really helps to move that sales process along quite smoothly and also quickly as well, within a time frame that works for both the buyer and the seller. Now, the third part of the process is in the aftercare, effectively. Now, some sourcing companies will provide simply the property deal and then the assistance, let's say with the sales cycle as well. Other companies go a stage further and provide some element of aftercare with that property. Now, that might be aftercare in as much as they help liaise with or introduce other third parties like letting agents to manage the property for you if it needs one. Maybe refurbishment teams if you're looking at a refurbishment project or a development, or other forms of contacts that can help you continue to grow and utilize effectively that property to its best ability. Now, with those three services, hopefully you can see, or three elements to that service, hopefully you can see how working with a property sourcer could potentially help you grow a property portfolio. Now, whether you want to be hands-on or hands-off, there's still benefits that a property sourcer can bring to the table. Sometimes that might be simply giving you access to deals that you may not get yourself. So there might be purely off-market potential opportunities that are only brought to the table because of their current contacts and relationships. So it might give you access to new deals. May also give you access to properties that have already been agreed and discussed and negotiated at a discount as well. So properties that you may not be able to achieve the same level of purchase price on there. Whatever service that the sourcing agent is providing and whatever fee they typically charge for that deal, it's important just to understand that the value that they're adding is in effect going to bring that same value back to that deal you're doing. So if it's maybe a sourcing fee that's a set fee, that you get that back either in the extra yield that you're generating on a potential investment because maybe they have good contacts from a tenant profile perspective or letting agent perspective, or maybe they're able to negotiate that property at a much better discount, or maybe able to find properties that you may not be able to find on the open market. So you want to make sure that there's a whole of service and some sort of value attached to that sourcing service as well. So hopefully that helps and gives you some context as to how a property sourcer works. If you've got any questions, don't hesitate to ask, and look forward to catching up with you in the next video. All the best, take care, bye. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this content and you'd like to join our free online property training course, we've got a link for it on this page.
And in there we cover a range of different property strategies to help you get started, either building a long-term property portfolio or creating cash flowing property business. We also look at ways to increase your return on investment with any of the property you're maybe considering. And we also have a couple of cheat sheets and downloadable documents in there as well. Simply click on the link to join the free training course today.